Okay. Hi, everyone. Wow, I just did a big dance with Zoom, let me tell you. All right, welcome to Module 3. Let me share my screen and make my head as tiny as possible because I may or may not be wearing my pajamas. I'll never tell. All right, just let me share Zoom. Come on. Desktop 1. Hooray. Okay. Hi and welcome. Let's get this little buddy over there. I don't need to. Okay. Module 3. So here is what we're doing today. I'm going to go through this module and tell you about the things, and then you're going to go do the things. It's going to be great. For those of you who do not like to watch the video, I just a couple of things to go over. I want to thank you all for your patience during the course splitting thing. I mean, it works. I think it's going to be good because you've gone down from discussions of 100+ posts to much more manageable discussions. And I just looked over the module 2 discussions so far, and by gosh, they're both just as robust as I could hope. So it was random. I did not choose who went into which group, but it looked like it worked out great. So that's terrific. I was thinking about maybe next Saturday, when I record this call, I record them in Zoom. When I do the videos, I do it in Zoom. And I was thinking about maybe opening that up. And if people wanted to just drop in and say hi, if you have questions, or if you want to talk about the content so far, or say hi to people who are in the other group, it would not be required. Nothing in this program is required at a specific time, which is one of the beauties of the program, but you certainly will be invited. So I may, I'm not 100% certain. It depends on what happens to several old people for whom I am responsible, but I may put a link in the, send out an email with a link if people want to just come in and say hi. All right, so thanks again for that. What I am going to do at some point this week, I think, is take the introductions. I don't want you to have to write your introductions again, but what I did for the first class, where I took the whole, or for the first module rather, took all the module 1 discussion and put that into a Google Doc. I think I'm going to do that for the introductions, just for the initial ones, so that everybody can see who everyone is. It's also helpful for me if for any reason you don't want that information in a Google Doc, I'll just share it with this group. I won't make it open to the web, but let me know if you have any concerns. I can put it in the discussion, just copy it into the discussion tool also. But it's a little easier to just copy and paste it. So let me know about that. I believe that is the only thing that I'm going to tell you about that's not written in the content page. If you are sick of looking at my face, even though it's so tiny, you can just read the content. For those of you who like a little more context, let's go. So this week we're looking at applications, which are, of course, things, according to Kellett, that to do a specific thing. And gosh, the word thing, I'm just going to use it so many times. We're going to look through those. I'll take you through what we're looking at. I just want to show you really quick the 2 of the things you've already looked at, the best tools for teaching and learning. They're here again because some of these are pretty appish. And then, of course, the 350 amazing online learning resources. I can't remember who it was in the discussion said that they laughed when they saw it, because sometimes they laugh when they're terrified or something like that. I laugh too. All right, so this is Librarians Wanted for Smashing Blending Toolkit Building. This is really just about apps working together. It's from 2014, so gosh, almost 10 years ago, but I love Joyce Valenza. As a matter of fact, I'm actually if you mentioned my name to Joyce Valenza, she would know who I am, because I embarrassed myself in front of her at we were in a information literacy group together during the beginnings of COVID. And the first time I found myself in a Zoom room with her, I was like this. I was embarrassing. It was mortifying, but she's brilliant. And she was one of the first people who was looking in the Web 2.0 movement. Like she had her finger on the pulse. And this is, some of the stuff that she says here. She had an article about the future of technology. And this was easily maybe 2008, 2006, and all of the things that she listed were all things that came to fruition. I was like, she's clearly Nostradamus for our times. All right. So those are the three resources. Do take a look at the Joyce Valenza one if you get a chance. It's, it might have some, it's not very long. And then the other ones are there if you need them. There's really not much reading to do. It's a lot of playing to do this week. So the first set is fun with pictures, and there's Big Huge Labs, which lets you make a bunch of different things out of your pictures. Oh, Flickr, alphabetical order. I should have had Flickr up here first, because Flickr is a great resource for pictures because they've got the commons, which means that those are images that you can use with attribution or even without attribution in some cases. It is, as you know, we don't want to be like the copyright cops, but at the same time, it is something we need to know about. And so Flickr, Creative Commons licensing is great because it's something that you can talk to your kids about. Yes, you can still use this thing, just make sure you know where your information is coming from. So you can use those images, or you can take your own, whatever. Big Huge Labs is a, you can do magazine covers and trading cards and all kinds of fun stuff. Don't get, there's a bunch of stuff to look at, but that's one that people go back to again. It's a lot of fun. And then Image Flip, I used this with my creative writing kids. We did a unit on memes that was so much fun. And I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I am in a graduate program myself right now. And for my cataloging class, I made memes of all of the readings because that was how I remembered what I had read, because cataloging, zoinks. We'll be there. I'll be using those memes to teach you cataloging. But it was so much fun. And I had people in the class like messaging me saying, okay, I needed you to post first thing because it was your memes that helped me figure out what I was supposed to be looking for. And I was like, you're welcome. I'm glad that my adolescent behavior is helping others. All right, then we got troubleshooting and brainstorming. These are all pretty specific one job things. So Bubble Us is for doing like mind maps and things like that. Doodle is, we all know Doodle. I mean, it's been around for a while, but if you're not familiar with it, it's super handy for scheduling. I use it, anytime I'm doing anything. Survey Monkey, I'm mostly a Google Forms girl at this point, just because it's embedded in, I use Google a lot, but if you're somebody who's resistant to that, Survey Monkey is a great tool for, wait for it, surveys. And then Zamzar is a file conversion format, and I don't use it as much because, again, Google Docs I can use for this sort of thing, but Zamzar can take whatever kind of file you have and turn it into a different kind of file. And it's free basically until you get to a certain level, but you can use it if you pay. You can use it to change really big files, which is great for video formats and things like that. All right, then there's presentation stuff. There's Bitmoji, which I think most people know what Bitmojis are. Explain Everything, another format like that. Flipgrid. Oh yeah, Flipgrid is super fun. And I almost thought about having us do a Flipgrid for this, for part of the discussion, but it is one more thing and some people already know it and I don't want it to be busy work, but that's a really good source. If you're working, definitely middle school and high school and even upper elementary. If you're not familiar with Flipgrid, take a look at it. PictoChat's a lot of fun. Timeline I have not used, but people do like it. And Voki is something that you may or may not find useful. But as far as the presentation ones, you really need to, you know what? You look at what you want to look at. I'm not the boss of you. But Flipgrid's really good. Okay, augmented reality. I meant to put something else. This is something that I have I saw it, shown at a friend did a PD that I went to and she had it and it was really cool and it's great for hands-on stuff. And I just had dinner with the same friend a couple weeks ago and she gave me another link for this. So I will try to remember to add it. She used Quiver Vision, but I feel like there was another one too. So there may be another one in here if you're interested in augmented reality. And again, it's a real niche thing. If the rest of it, if you're somebody who's just starting out, the rest of it might be enough for you and you can just worry about augmented reality another day. And then artificial intelligence. And those of you who are teaching know that we are obsessed. ChatGPT, wow, is it changing everything? And I would love to have a little bit of discussion about that. But again, depending on what you guys have time for. I used ChatGPT to do some homework for my other graduate class. I cited it. I was using the standards, Mass State standards. And I was like, I have no idea what the middle school standards are like. You know what? And so I asked ChatGPT to help me find the standards that would align with this book. And by golly, it gave me like 4 or 5. And it wasn't as good as asking a middle school teacher, hey, which standards would you use this? But it did give me some. And I went back and I looked to make sure that they were accurate, because that's one of the things, accuracy. And they were. So, I mean, we need to look at ways of using this as a time saver, as opposed to, using, teaching our students as well. It can be used as a time saver. It's a tool that we can use, but it also is a great way to plagiarize. So let's be aware of that. And then Starry AI is really fun. I was illustrating books with Starry AI. It's, and again, I feel awful for illustrators, because I think that there's it definitely is going to cut in. People who are cutting corners are definitely going to not pay for illustration anymore when you can get a robot to do it for free. But it's fascinating. And if you give very, very precise descriptions, it's amazing what it can give you. And no, I'm not going to go back in and show you what I did. The same book, I used AI as my sort of baseline for jumping into the book, and I illustrated it. It was amazing. I didn't illustrate it. A robot illustrated it. But the descriptions, learning how to do the descriptions accurately to get what you want, is something that, a skill set that we are probably going to be necessary the way things are going. All right. Sorry, this is going to be a really long video. Last thing you need to know. So all the things I basically tell you much more briefly what I told you just now, but this, your blog this week, there is a specific blog format, which some weeks there is, some weeks, it's dealer's choice. This week, I want you to take, I believe I said 8 to 10, but who knows? We need a list of apps, the list of apps. Oh, I'm making you look at everything. Well, that's not fair. I don't know how many there are, but we'll say 8 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Sorry, 14, 15, 16. So there are 16 of them. Yeah, at least half. Okay. But if you get to them all, I'd love to see what you think. So put the live link in your blog, because you want to be able to go back, and then a use for it. And I say be specific, but not detailed. In other words, 5th graders use the trading card feature in Big Cube Labs to make trading cards of European explorers. Okay. Library media specialist uses SurveyMonkey to track computer lab usage. So you don't have to say, we're going to train them to use this, and then they're going to do this, and then this is going to happen. It's a sentence of what you could use that tool for. And if you can't think of anything, then that's not the tool for you. Leave it off your list and move on with your life. All right. Sorry for the length of this. Let me stop sharing, which is over in this other window. It's me again. All right. Gosh, this was fun. Okay. I am going to make every effort to keep at least 2 weeks. So you've got 2 weeks ahead. It's not happening. I'm only 1 week ahead now, but once we get to February vacation, it'll all be out there. If you have any questions, of course, email me in Canvas. You have my contact information, and I will, hopefully everything will work out that we could have a meetup if you would like, to, what is that called? An elective meetup next Saturday. I will let you know if that works. All right. Have a great week, and I'll see you on the discussion boards. Bye.